I know this show is not targeted towards me. I just want to get that out there. Hello everybody, welcome to the next episode of my reaction series where I take a look at the first episode of an anime and give my general thoughts on it, as well as tell you whether or not I feel it's worth continuing on. Today I decided to take a look at a revamp of a series that I have never seen before. But of course, I've obviously heard about it, having been around anime for so long. Even if you're not around anime for a while, you've likely heard of this. Even if you're just getting into the medium, you've likely heard of this show. Even people who haven't ever watched an anime have likely heard of this show because of how huge it got and how it's one of those things where everyone knows its name. It's you already see it in the title. It's Sailor Moon. What can I say about Sailor Moon? Honestly, not much. Like I said, I've never seen the show. I've never watched a single episode or movie or anything of the original franchise. I've never seen any of it. The only things I know are from what I have heard mentioned by people who watched the show, or people who were critiquing the show, or stuff like that. I have never actually legitimately sat down and watched anything about Sailor Moon. The closest thing that I've come to watching an episode was YouTubing the opening, because the music is just awesome. I love the opening music from the original series. I'm not sure if it's the same as it was in Japanese, but I'm referring to the English version of the opening, which has that incredibly catchy theme. This is Sailor Moon Crystal, and it is a revamping of the series, as I mentioned before, released on July 5th of this year, 2014, by Toei Animation. And honestly, going into this, I was ready for some pain. I honestly was ready for some pain. From what I've heard, the show, even though I tend to go towards cutesy things, I tend to go for adorable stuff, such as magical girl animes and everything, I was ready for some hurtful viewing. I was ready to sit down and just... However, that did not happen, honestly. It didn't happen this time around. I didn't really enjoy the episode, but I didn't hate it either. It's not bad. The main plot is the typical magical girl anime, which I'm not sure if this franchise started that, but it definitely made it very popular. It's the idea of a normal, everyday girl getting these magic powers and pretty much becoming a superhero. The main girl this time around is named Usagi. At least I think that's what her name is. They only actually legitimately said her name about twice in this episode, so I guess they were kind of expecting you to already know what her name was. I went into this thinking her name was Sailor Moon. She's a ditz. She is a real big ditz. The entire time she's going through her opening, well, not the opening of the show, the opening of the episode, she's being clumsy, being late, being more clumsy, being derpy, and being more clumsy. So yeah, she's pretty ditzy. Pretty ditzy, which honestly isn't that attractive of a quality in a character. She finds a cat on the street who's like scratching at her and all that. She takes band-aids off its forehead, sees a little moon shape, is like, oh, that's weird. Wait, I'm late for school. Gotta bug her off. Later on, the cat comes back, it's talking to her, she thinks she's dreaming, bada boom, bada bing, cat gives her an item and she becomes Sailor Moon. That is the basic premise of this first episode, is just getting her to become Sailor Moon. That's it. And I pretty much knew that was going to be how it was. I figured that was what it was going to be. I didn't expect anything less. So there's no real disappointment there on that part. Where there was a bit of disappointment, though, and this is again coming from someone who hasn't watched the original series, but this is something that I know. The new opening, called Moon Pride, I think, while it has some very awesome guitar riffs and everything in it here and there, it is not memorable in the slightest. And that's saying something from a guy who's never seen the show, but knows how the theme song of the original goes. And to add on to that, I have to say that the music throughout this entire episode, it was really reminiscent of the soundtrack you'd hear in a Sonic Adventure game. I don't know if any of you guys know that, but it's like this weird type of rock that's trying to be really cool in the 90s. And a lot of the music that I heard in this show had like guitar riffs that was trying to be like, yeah! But it didn't seem to work for me really at all. I don't know if that's just me personally, because I like the Sonic Adventure soundtracks. They're really fun. I know they're stupid, but they're really fun. But this show just didn't seem to do it for me. I don't know why. It just didn't fit. But there is something in this that really, really deserves a lot of praise. And I believe the credit for this fact is due to the fact that it is a revamp, which means they have like the budget from the show, which came out in, what, the 80s? And they just threw money into the development of this, because the animation and just the all-around art is stunning. This is very, very beautifully made episode. On top of that, it doesn't lose the like style of the old show. The characters, they look almost exactly the same. They look like kind of like a mixture of the old versions and like typical characters you'd see in a Clamp anime, just like fused together, really tall and long-limbed and everything. So it has that same style, but the city landscapes and everything, when you're seeing these transition scenes, it's beautiful. It's like you're looking at works of art here, like just pure paintings, but they're moving because it's a show, and that's really impressive. So as a whole, I would say that if you're at all into magical girl anime or cutesy anime or even the original franchise, I'm pretty sure I know a lot of people who've seen the original franchise and everything, and I know that they're gonna want to talk about this because they were huge fans of it. I'm curious to see what they'd think, because to me, this looks like it was a very beautiful beginning to a revamp of an old beloved franchise. And I'm always down for revamping things if you feel like it, if it's been some time. Don't revamp something that's like just happened, Spider-Man. Disclaimer, I actually really love the Amazing Spider-Man movies, please don't kill me. If this is your kind of thing, give it a watch. It's actually decently made. The only problems are the main character and the music, in my opinion. The music, I can say, is my main problem, but I'm not sure. From what I've heard, the main character sounds like she's pretty much the same character as the old show, which I guess eventually has some appeal to her. But as of right now, this first episode, there's really not much doing it for me here. She's ditzy and a crybaby, and those are two big... I will live and work at a daycare. Those two things are really bad qualities to me, so... what can you say? As always, I will have the link to Crunchyroll's streaming of the first episode in the description of this video, so if you would like to take a look at it, I'm pretty sure it should be up either by the time of this episode's release or shortly after. Typically, new releases get released a week earlier for premium Crunchyroll members than they do for non-premium Crunchyroll members. So if it's not up, it likely will be in a few days, and I apologize if this video comes out before that. Well, that's about all I have for this episode. If you like the video, then like, comment, share it, follow the social medias. I have a Twitter and I have a Facebook page now, which I do a lot of things on, especially the Facebook one. Twitter, not so much, but Facebook is becoming my more popular media source, so head on over if you feel like it. And until next time, peace out.